Malo mala malia hoeki pe pe foki ki tonga mo bulan ko to mo mia mai ki po kala mo ya ai TWN pe ko tonga World News. E fia fini ko e fia fi pule lulueni a hoa o maasi. We're in a new month. All right.
Yes, yes.
A hoa maasi wano maua. So tonight I would like to introduce our workers for tonight. So we're gonna have Emeline Faumunew Day, Dr. Ray from Tonga, and Gabriel from California. Hey, how is Cali?
California, yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay. It is
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. We would like to welcome you all tonight, and we're going to start our program momentarily. I will hand baton to Emeline. Thank you.
Sometimes a Light Surprises the Christian While He Sings was written by William Kaufman, who was a lawyer and the son of an Anglican clergyman.
What's wrong? Malala Maria Hawaii, Malo Lele at Tonga Koto. Welcome, welcome. Uh, Dr. Ray from Tonga and Gabriel Bacopa from California. Last night we have some interesting conversation, and I wanted us to continue that. And I know Gabriel was asking me today, how am I going to go to Tonga? So we might be gonna asking Dr. Ray, what's the status of Tonga right now, and is it safe for you to travel to Tonga? How about if we talk about that, Dr. Ray? What's the latest in Tonga right now? Is Dr. Ray? Can you hear us, Dr. Ray? Okay. I don't see. I think his internet might be. Uh,
Yeah.
Gabriel,
Yes.
why do you want to go to Tonga? Let's start
Well,
with that.
there's a
Ma-
lot of a lot of reasons,
A lot
I
of
would say.
reasons.
Yeah. We don't see the stars very good in my city, and I think I would see them better in Tonga. And
Get your mic a little bit, because we
oh,
barely hear you, Gabriel.
I was saying I don't see the stars very well in my
oh,
Ah,
the stars.
yeah the stars, and yeah. So I think I'd see them better in Tonga, and also I'd like to see a new place.
Yeah,
And if there's a nuclear war, I think Tonga will be safe. So
hmm.
that's right. You
I wanna,
think there will be nuclear war?
it could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah, there's a possibility. There's a good chance, actually. Eventually,
Yeah.
even if not this next few months or next year, I think
Yeah.
eventually it'll happen. So
Tonga will be safe.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's away from the most of the countries. It's an islands
Yes.
in the ocean. You know, um,
And we got lots of caves.
we have lots of caves. Really,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Our heritage touch into a lot of different caves. Flintstones caves. So,
Wow. I like caves. I'd like to explore some caves. I want to say another thing about the about democracy.
Ah.
We were talking another subject the other day, just kind of
Oh.
sort of off topic, but a little bit more why democracy is overrated. I might write a book about this. Actually, I'm thinking about it. If you know the story of the Bengali genocide, the Bengali Liberation War, it was in 1971 that Pakistan and Bangladesh had a war because Bangladesh used to be part of Pakistan before 1971. It was called East Pakistan, and in 1971, Pakistan and Bangladesh had a war. And during that war, they say there's a genocide against the Bengalis, in which, according to Bangladesh, they say 3 million people died, but according to other estimates, maybe a few 100,000. Regardless, one of the causes of this genocide was disputes over an election. So before the genocide, before the war, East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, and West Pakistan, they had elections. And East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, won the majority of seats. And the person who was going to run the country, I'm not sure if maybe they called it prime minister or president. I'm not sure what they called it back then, but the person who was going to run the country was a Bengali, so somebody from East Pakistan. But the person who was already in charge of Pakistan did not accept the results. And after that, West Pakistan, East Pakistan had a war, and that's what started the Bengali genocide and the Bengali Liberation War, which led to the creation of Bangladesh. So, I mean, that wasn't the only cause, but definitely this whole dispute over elections definitely caused a lot of problems and a lot of suffering. Just another reason why democracy is overrated. Yeah, that's it.
Go ahead, Brenda, because I'm trying to see if I can get a hold of Dr. Ray to get back on the show.
Okay. I'm really interested in because democracy is now coming down to a lot of questions by everybody, whether it's really necessary to have it and keep the world peace, or everybody should go back to how their islands or their country, who possessed it or owned it prior, like Iran. You remember how they destroyed the royalty in Iran? Remember that, Gabriel?
Right. Yeah, I guess
The
I don't know too
Tsar,
much.
huh?
Right, the Shah. Yeah, I don't know too
Yeah.
much about that history, but yeah,
Yeah,
the Shah.
and even Russia had some royalty up until the 1800, and then they destroy that too.
Right, the czars of Russia.
The
Yeah,
czars, yeah,
it was
czars,
actually, yeah.
yeah,
Actually, that's an interesting point you make, because it was overthrown by the communists. The czar,
yeah,
the last czar of Russia, the communists executed him and his family.
and his family, yes,
Right, they killed them all.
wow,
Yeah, and I think the czar, as far as I understand, Russia was considered a Christian empire at that time.
yes,
So what I was going to say, so sometimes when I talk about democracy, people think that I support dictatorship or something.
oh yeah,
Right. So what I'm trying to say is that if people think that I would like a Hitler, or I would like a Stalin, or something like that. When I say I don't support democracy, but I think that's an incorrect way of thinking, because first of all, Hitler was elected democratically. I think a lot of people know this, but some people don't. So it's an important point to emphasize that he was elected
right,
by the people. And what was so interesting about Hitler was that he was apparently very popular, right? So
right,
he was a populist leader who the people of Germany apparently loved, right? I don't know if you ever seen the rallies, people like going crazy over him, like he's a music star or something. So the point being is that actually fascism, what people think of as fascism, is not necessarily, in my opinion, the opposite of democracy, but rather it is actually democracy on steroids, because the people become so infatuated with a leader that they don't they want to do everything what he says. So
right,
it's not necessarily that's exactly because I think it was Plato who said that the worst government is tyranny, but right before that is democracy, because democracy leads to tyranny. I think that was Plato who said that. So just because the majority of people love someone doesn't mean that's the best thing, right? So elections are not necessarily the best. But what I wanted to say is that I particularly like monarchy because it's not, there's nothing fake about it. Okay, there's no what do you call it? It's not an unclear system. Democracy is unclear. It's not always clear who wins, and then people get angry because they say, "Oh, this guy won, not that guy," or "This guy deserves power, not that guy." Well, monarchy is clear. It's a tradition. It's supposed to go from family member to family member, right? So, and also if you look at the situation of Bangladesh and Pakistan, how it became a genocide because of this dispute over an election, and the Bengalis, because they won all these seats, became the target of the genocide. Anyways, that's all I want to say. Yeah.
wow,
Now he's back.
yeah.
Dr. Ray, hey, how's it going? Do you speak Arabic, Dr. Ray?
Yes, I know he does. I think he speak Hebrew, and Arabic.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hebrew and
Yeah.
Arabic.
I think can you hear us, Dr. Ray?
You have your speaker on?
No, I think it's just the internet, because I keep having the internet.
Yeah, not bad, Gabriel. We have the still raining here. It's raining cats and dogs, and the internet is getting bad.
Okay.
So this is something we deal with.
Okay. Gabriel, I have a question for you, Dr. Ray.
Oh, about I was just going to ask, do you speak Arabic?
Okay.
Oh.
That's see, that's gonna be the internet experience you're gonna have in Tonga if you go there. So,
That's right.
can you afford to not connect to the internet? So,
yeah.
I'm hoping the 50 terminal that Elon Musk donated to Tonga will improve the internet, you know. But I think Dr. Ray was saying the commercial, like the private company, they can compete for better services. But I don't know because what Elon Musk have is satellite, you know. So, and I'm not sure 50 satellite in the island, the small island, is gonna be a lot, and I hope it's gonna make the internet better, you know. So
Whoa.
that's Dr. Ray. Okay, Dr. Ray.
Yeah, I think I will join you from WhatsApp.
Yes, okay. We're gonna have you.
Yeah.
Okay, Gabriel, have a
I
question.
speak English. I speak English and Arabic and Hebrew and Italian and French.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Dang.
It's not only English and Arabic and Hebrew. I speak I speak Italian and French.
I love French.
So
It's my language.
I speak 5 language, but
Wow.
I stuck with the Tongan one.
Yeah. Okay. Add on the Tongan side there to your language. Dr. Ray,
Yeah.
add on the Tongan side bear language to your language. So make it 6 now.
I feel like the capacity of the language in my brain is already full. That's why I stuck with the Tongan language.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Like je parle français, parliamo italiano. Yeah. But when it comes to Tongan language, it's just stuck in my brain. But I getting used to, like, I learn a lot by now.
Yeah.
That's good. The Tongan language is a very easy one because how
Well,
it's
it's very
spelled.
easy for you, but for me, when the alphabet is 16 letters, like they don't have letter B, they don't have letter R, they don't have letter Z. So a lot of stuff just like similar to each other. And if you just like say it wrong, that will make like maybe swearing or different meaning.
That's right.
Like kaka, like you are cheating,
Yes.
and kaka that you claim the tree. So
Right.
between kaka and kaka,
Right.
you get
And
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even cow like you are thinking, and cow you are shower.
Yeah, and Fakakaukau is
See?
the yes.
Yeah, so this is like between cow, kaka. So
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
these similar to me,
Yeah.
and that's make it hard.
That's so true, Dr. Ray.
Yeah, but it's easy for you because you're growing up with this language. That's it.
Right. That's so true. Uh, so what is right now the new update from Tonga? Because like I mentioned earlier, Gabriel is thinking of going to Tonga. So what's the latest in Tonga, Dr. Ray? So give him a good reasons of why he can be going to Tonga. So
I tell you what, if you like nature, you come to Tonga. But if you like fancy life, when you come to Tonga, you don't like it. If you if you feel like you like a very simple life, like I tell you, my first reaction when I come to Tonga, I felt like I go back to 18th century, not to 2022.
That's what I want.
Okay, we don't have traffic light here. There is no traffic light. The street, there is no name of the street. There is no number of the house. So just like the name of the village, and that's it. But there is no house number. There is no street name. The postal code, even if you look for Tongan postal code, is nothing. So just like put 00000. The good thing here, you have a lot of family. Like even people, they will never let you alone if you don't have family. Like what I found here is so simple. Like people here, when they eat, they think for their neighbor. Like if you don't have food, I'm telling you, all the neighbor, they will put the food front of your home. When you walk in the street, you find a lot of people invite you to eat inside. This not in the Western culture or to anywhere in the world. So at the end of the day, you find your food. Everyone to support each other, which is good. Yes, we are not in heaven. We still have some arguments, some position, but the very end day, you have the very basic life. Like we don't have McDonald's, we don't have Kentucky, we don't have Pizza Hut, we don't have cinema, we don't have satellite. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. It's very, very simple, easy life. If you like this simple, easy life, you will love Tonga, full stop. But if you love the fancy life, I'm telling you, come to Tonga just for holiday only, maybe 1 week, and then I want to go back to your fancy life.
I like simple life.
So for people like nature, like the amount of the pollution, we don't have pollution here. Okay, the only pollution we suffer from the volcano. But in total, because it's so green, so green. You know, like you go to the market, you get the coconut, like 10 coconut for $10. Or otherwise, you go to the bush and get your coconut from there for free. See, it's very simple and easy. And the food is fresh. There is nothing being thrown in the vegetables or fruit. So everything here is organic. Like you buy the vegetables or the fruit, if you put it in the fridge, it will be like 2 days maximum and then off. It's so tasty. When you cook the food, when you cook the vegetables, you smell the vegetables. You smell it, you know? You go to the market, you smell the smell of the vegetables or the fruit. It's different than when I've been in Australia or even in America. You know, you go to the market, there is no smell of the vegetables, there is no smell of the fruit. You feel like you eat plastic at the end. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But here, everything, like you feel like you eat organic food. Even the chicken here, the organic chicken, oh my gosh, you put it like, you know, on the stove to be boiled. There is no this type of fat because it's all naturally. There is nothing, hormones go inside the chicken, nothing, everything's like very rich. The meat, the taste of the meat, the taste of the fish, everything is fresh.
Wow.
And the nature here is so like rich. I'm telling you. So for me, I'm not this type of person to like the fancy life. Okay, people here that are very, very simple. They're sitting in the floor. Why not? Sleeping in the floor. Why not? God create us like this before we sleep in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you like the very simple life and nature, I think you will love Tonga. You will love Tonga, full stop. But if you like to go to the cinema, to the nightclub, to whatever, I'm telling you, bad luck.
Wow.
You will be just like happy to come for a couple of days and then go back to your life.
Tonga sounds good to me. I'd much rather.
Yeah.
I like that life. I don't like fancy life.
Yeah.
You can be sleeping outside under the stars, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I tell you what. I tell you, there is one good thing here. There is no highway, so if you go through the highway, you must pay money. But here, there is no highway because the speed limit the maximum of the speed limit is 40 kilometers per hour. Some areas is 5 kilometers per hour. You feel like you want to go for a walk faster than to drive your car.
Wow.
The other thing, like here, like when you drive the car and you found your friend, you can stop your car and talk to your friend and whatever your relative and forget about the traffic behind you. Yeah. So
And no one
no,
throws stones at you,
why
huh?
are you laughing? It's true. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
everything is like you wake up in the morning, you hear the bird or the charcoal or the chicken or the cow. So you feel like you live in the farm. Or you wake up in the buaka, like the pig sound. So it's very simple life, nature. That's it.
My question is, why isn't all the world like this? There'd be no environmental problems, no global warming, right?
Well, I tell you what, ask the leaders. Like what we've been suffering now in the Russian and Ukraine war, that's everyone in the world will be suffered.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, today, Russian, because they cut Russian from the SWIFT code, so Russian and China, so Russia decided to cut the dollars, and from now on they deal with the yen. So if you want to buy anything from Russia, you use the Chinese currency. Well, in the meantime, the majority now, people was talking about Cuba America back to 1962, when Guevara come after the revolution, after the revolution, sorry, and he became the president of Cuba, and then John Kennedy want to demolish Cuba because Cuba getting all the weapon equipment from Russia. And then John Kennedy was saying that's the international security. We can't make our neighbor have weapon from Russia because Russia, it's our enemy. Same as Ukraine. So, it's a history, but it's a lot of going around. Even when America allowed Iran to do the nuclear weapon, see, that's make the Middle East country come against America now. See, there is a lot of changes going around, but I tell you, the end of the day, the people, they want to be human. They want to enjoy their life. They want to work. They want to buy food, and that's it. But when it's come to the politics, okay, this is come to so complicated. We have national security. We have military. We have economics. We have a lot. See, but here is easy. Like very simple life, but sometimes people like to have the fancy life, complicated life. At the end of the day, it's your choice where you want to live. Like for me, I spend my life between study, reading books, hospital, work, go home to sleep. Even I don't have time to go to nightclub or cinema. Like I'm just like, if you ask me, I just go to the cinema in Christmas Day or Easter Day if I don't have any emergency case or if I don't have anything to read. So if you count, if I'm like, maybe I went to the cinema like 20 times in my life and I'm 45 years old, I will be 46 this year. But other people, they like to go every day to the bar, to the cinema, to the nightclub, to do whatever they want. Some people enjoy their life like this. For me, I enjoy my life for difference. Like I have medicine degree, I have IT degree, I have IT consultant, and I have accounting, I have business administration. And on top of that, I speak a couple of language. So this is the way I enjoy my life. If you ask me who's the actor in the cinema or in the movie, I don't care. But if you ask me about scientists or about anything in medicine, I will give you everything you want. So the enjoying in the life is different between one to one. That's why when you ask me why the people, they don't live this type of simple life, because it's up to people. If you want to live simple, you'll live simple. If you want to live complicated, you'll live complicated. If you want to live to show off, everything you do, it will be show off. That's it. Yeah.
You have a question there last night, Gabriel. Is Tonga safe if there's going to be a nuclear?
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Dr. Ray?
I didn't listen to the question of Gabriel to think about it. So
Go
I
ahead,
just
Gabriel. Ask the question.
Oh, the question basically, if there's a nuclear war, and I'm chilling out in Tonga, will I be safe? You get the question?
Okay. Yeah, I get the question. Okay. For example, if Russia used a nuclear in Europe, okay, the whole Europe country and Russia will be affected by the nuclear because the way of the wind. Okay, so at the end of the day, Russia will get a lot of wind. Like if, for example, if they blow the nuclear in UK, but the wind will push all the molecule on the air back to Russia. Okay. If even Russia won't use the nuclear to Nigeria, like Africa, okay, Africa will not be affected, but Asia will be affected because the wind will clean Africa all the way to Asia. Okay, when we talk about the Pacific, okay, we have here like tropical weather. It's all like cyclone after cyclone after cyclone after cyclone. But when you look to the cyclone go from south to north or from south to west. So if any nuclear, we already will be away from this old molecule. The only being affected, it will be the economics. For the petrol price, like the power price, gas, petrol like benzene, this type of economics and goods too as well. Okay, because it's not like you get export some goods from all over the world that will be affected. So the war will not be affected the atmosphere of the nuclear, but it will affect the economics. By affecting the economics, I think the whole world will be affected. Even when you look about it here, even Russia used the nuclear in America. Okay, it depends about the wind go from where to where in America. Okay, and I think Canada will be the most, like Canada and Mexico will be the more affected more than America. They will get the long term of affected of the molecule. So it's not like I bomb this area and that's it. No, it's when you bomb, where is the wind will carrying what you've been bombed here to the other. You got it?
Yeah.
Got it.
Do you see the stars very well in Tonga, or compared to, let's say, America?
I beg your pardon?
Do you see the stars well in Tonga compared to America?
What do you mean by stories?
No, stars.
Stars.
The stars at night.
Stars and planets. Stars.
Okay. All right. You come to my one. The stars in Tonga is different because we are the north of the earth. America is, we are south of the earth. So what we've been seeing on the star here, it's opposite what you've been seeing in America. Like, for example, in Egypt, because I like to do safari, so I studied the stars, and we follow the stars at night time. So I know where the Scorpion, where the Virgo. So even the color of the star, what the difference between blue and red and yellow and white. Okay. And we follow these stars. When I migrated to Australia, even to Tonga, I found like it's a mirror, like you stand in a mirror. What you see, like when you move your right hand, you feel like you move your left hand. So the stars in Tonga is different. That's number one. Number two, we have amazing things here happen in the middle of each month, which is the sunset, like maybe 14th or 15th of every month. When the sun set, the moon rays from where the sun set. It's only happen one day a month. And this for me, it's like, wow. I even have a video. I put it live in my Facebook. I show where the sun set and where the moon rays, because usually the sun set from the west, and then the moon rays from the east as the sun rise from the east. But here we have one day a month, the moon rays from the west, not from the east.
Wow, really?
That's interesting.
So like when the sun sets,
I have this video. I will send it to you.
Yeah, you got to show me that.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're following a star, the star here is so bright, so clear. But this is the most amazing. Like if you want to visit Tonga, visit in the middle of the month, like towards like 10/9, so you can see exactly what I've been explaining. You will see where the sun set, and from the same point, the moon rays. This is always happen once a day a month of the middle of the month.
Can you see the Milky Way?
The what?
Can you see the Milky Way?
I don't know, but some like here, this when I saw it, I put it in my Facebook because I took live show, and I said this against what I've been studied the whole my life in geography, even science.
Right.
We know. Yeah.
I've never heard something like what you're talking about, the moon rising from the west ever. Like I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, that's me till I came to Tonga, and then I surprised because I like to look to the sunset and sunrise every day, and then I noticed this. Then the following months it's happened. Then the third month I decide to have a live show, like a live show in my Facebook.
Right.
And I told everyone this against what we've been study or what our being believes. Because it's here in Tonga once a day, the moon rays from where the sun set. It should be opposite each other, but this one, the moon rays from the west, just only once a day, once a month. Every month, one day you have the moon rays from the west, not from the east.
That's interesting.
This actually brings me to a good question. But
this month I will show it to you. If we have clear, I will show it to you where the sun set and where the moon rays. You will see exactly what I'm talking about live.
Yeah, this brings me to another question. So a subject that very much interests me is when actually the things on Earth or in astronomy or whatever do not follow what people assume or what we're taught, right? Any sort of question like that. Do you have any other experiences like that?
In fact, no. I tell you, some questions even I ask to myself, I don't have any answer. But I'm trying to find an answer for it. But so far, I'm just like try. Like, I'm not like Google, like what you write there, you found an answer. But I'm a very simple person of my knowledge.
Right.
But when I stuck like for me till now, I try to find an answer. How come once a day the moon rays from the west, not from the east. Till now, I didn't find an answer for it.
Maybe
Well,
Brenda
When
had
we
an
go
answer.
back to the
well, I can think of something, but
Go ahead, Gabriel. I said
well,
maybe Brenda have an answer for that one.
I don't, but I know Vava'u, where Ray and Sissy live.
Uh-huh.
They have a tourist area where if you want to see the moon coming up,
Oh yeah,
floating up
that's right.
right next to you. You heard about that?
Yes. What do you
Yeah.
call that place? Is it in Matamahina or something
Yeah,
like that?
that's where you do the matamahina.
Yeah,
And you have
Dr.
to
Ray,
be,
there's a place in Vava'u where you can go there and see the moon when it came up. It's called
when it comes up.
Matamahina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that,
Well,
Dr. Ray, in Vava'u?
I was in Vavao when I noticed this, and then when I come to Nukulufa, to Tonga Tapu, I found the same.
Yeah, but there's a special
for
place
me-
in Vava'u where they call it Matamahina. It's just only a place for that, and I don't know. I heard of that, Brenda.
Yeah. And people, if you really want to tour,
Why you mean it's the only place? Because I can see it all over. Like, how come the moon come from the west once a time, a month for one place, and all other places come from the east? But when I noticed that, I was in Vavao. Yes, the first
Yeah.
time I noticed that, I was in Vavao because we are high, so we can see more clear.
You
But
know,
when I come to Nukalufa, I found the same.
no, I think the one in Vavao, what I heard is the one in Vavao is like there's somebody's like swimming and coming with the moon on the head, something like that. Brenda.
yeah.
so
Someone is swimming and then the moon right on the head, and I think that's the history of that place in Vavao. Ask Sissy because there's a very unique history about that of that Matamahina.
Call it Mati Mahina?
Yeah, Matamahina.
Matamahina.
Yeah,
You
something
have
like
to, yeah.
yeah.
Matamahina. Yeah,
I-
and that
The
the
name
story.
Rain because Mata Mahina. Okay.
Yeah, there's a history to that one in Vavao.
This,
And
yeah.
yeah.
so I have a question.
Yeah.
This when it rises, what is the stage of the moon? Is it full moon? Is it a crescent? Is it something
It's
else?
full and
It's not full moon. It's not full moon. It's like
no.
the born of the moon. It's
Oh,
not
so-
half moon. That's why it's the middle of the month. It's not half moon. You know when
Oh, so it's
it's
just a little
like you feel like it's even half circle, but it's like it's not full moon. It's not half moon. It's the born of the
Moon.
Oh,
The
okay.
birth of the moon.
Right.
Mm.
I have my own thought about that. I think. Well, I know that usually when the moon, every day, you see it at a later time, right? So as if it's traveling west through the sky over the month, right? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
I tell you what, for me this time, because the moon rays from the west and then the middle of the night, it's just halfway in the sky, and then go back again to the west to set, and then the sun rise from the east.
right.
I just like this how it's go. Like it start from the west,
Right.
all the way half the middle of the sky, and then go back to the west. Like it's come like this way, then go back like halfway, and then the other go back to the west. Like he raised from the west and he set from the west.
That's
He's
interesting.
not going the whole side. It's just like halfway and then go back again.
That's interesting. Maybe it's time for us to take a break and have a song, eh?
Yeah, and I will try to see this video. If I find it, I will send it to you now.
Okay.
During the break. Okay.
Okay.
Malo.
That's Brenda's favorite. That's a love song, Gabriel.
Nene, you remember Tavi? Tavi, the Palangi man that live in Tonga forever?
You guys go to bed. Okay, let's back. Interesting, huh? Now you're more interested with Tonga.
Yeah, that's this astronomical astronomy phenomena he's talking about is very interesting.
Yeah. I pull it up on Google, and it says moon phase in Niafuava'u. It says rising and setting of the moon in Niafuava'u, Tonga. And it's called the meteor state. Like, you know,
I think ko mea Brenda ko tau matamahin na
tao matamahina. Yeah.
Oh yeah, tau matamahin na. So we're gonna have that. Dr. Ray will be calling back, and hopefully he will be coming in. But yeah, interesting, very interesting.
You know what's interesting more? It says today's moon rising time in Vava'u, Tonga, and it says Subgo Islamic Center. So there has to be something, that it's moonrise at 5:50 a.m., moonset 1858. That's the military time. And moonrise, same thing at 6:48 on the 3rd. So that would be tomorrow. So only happened this month. So you can pull it up later, Gabriel.
Right.
Yeah. So it will be really good.
Right. Does Tonga have any I don't know how to say it, ghost stories or things like that, fairy stories, or
Oh
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh, I have a lot of fairy stories. Yes.
Really? Wait, so or like I don't know. Every culture kind of has its own.
Yeah, every culture have. You know what Dr. Ray was talking about these big rocks. One of them in one of the village, Brenda Kofekwani, Kala'au, I believe. Uh, one of the god is Maui, and I think he was saying when he was playing, this is how he was the rocks that he used to throw around when he was playing. But this rock is so huge. I think Dr. Ray was mentioned that rocks one time. I never knew there's a big rocks like that in Tonga. So
Hmm.
then I went in and saw the picture of the rocks. I think I might gonna bring it in to take a look at that. But there's a history behind that. Brenda, unmute yourself, and if you
Where
can take
is
up from.
Kala'au? Is that the one in Hihifo?
Yes, the one
The
in
big
Hihifo.
rock that
Okay,
looks
go
like an
ahead,
island?
Maka Maui or something like
Yeah.
that. If you can,
Makatolo.
yeah, Makatolo Maui. If you can take over from there, Brenda, while I'm trying to find it and bring it onto the
Yeah.
camera. Uh,
Yeah.
Are there snakes in Tonga
no, don't have no snakes.
No, no,
or
No
no
scorpions?
snakes.
poisonous anything in Tonga.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
There's spiders. There are spiders that lives
yes.
in the
Yeah.
coconut
Some people are
trees.
scared about spiders, but
But we played with spiders when we were kids.
Oh
I remember the spiders back in the island. It's like if you see a spider, is a what do you call it? It's a good thing happening. That's how my mother always said.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Hold on one second. I have to do something quick.
I am going to bring this big stone on the camera here, so
Yeah.
we can
Koe
take a look.
folklore koe whananga ia, he?
Hmm?
Koe hae whananga. Koe folklores?
The fananga?
Eh?
I am not sure what they call that.
Koe myths? Eh?
Myth. Yes, the myth. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Like, I really believe he tau folklore, se tala noa koe mei mua.
Oh yeah,
Pea koe
oh
tau
yeah.
sio koe he umaka.
Ah,
E pe pātia historia, ko vai malo, ko tāno ma pe kakai ko kuo kei. O ke umaka lahi he entry ki he motu. Kai
oh
ke
yeah.
entry ki he motu. Entry ki he estate ko ni e ku grand
Okay, now
parents.
you see the fumaka right there, Bakatola Maui. Yeah.
Umaka really high, eh?
Okay, you see
Oh,
that?
iyo, fulahiang e makatolo maui aia.
Mm.
Koe makaya ko gui koe mapitoa. Koe whaingoa pea ki a mapiritoa. The
Oh,
owner, the
oh,
owner of the estate, eh?
that's
That's what,
what I'm talking about. The
yeah, look at the
Gabriel.
rock.
That's a huge rock.
That's a big rock.
Yeah,
It's sitting in the middle of nowhere, but there's a history behind it. Mm. I did not. I wasn't aware of this rock until Dr. Ray talked about it. I left Tonga like back in the 90s, so. Uh, but this is like very interesting. Mm.
yeah. So, do you like our logo?
Yeah, it's cool.
So, before they call it the uh, Makatolo of Maui, but now they call it the Tsunami Rock. I don't know why they rename it the Tsunami. Huh.
Because it
They,
could have been
they, they
blown.
took they took the history out of it when they renamed it Tsunami. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I heard there are no snakes in New Zealand, so maybe it's the same kind of
Yeah,
land.
There
no,
are
no
no
in the
snakes
Pacific Islanders you don't find snake in the islands.
anywhere in the Pacific.
Oh
But
wow.
I
The
think
Solomon Islands, there are snakes.
Oh
Gardeners, probably gardeners.
oh.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. In California, there are rattlesnakes in some of the
yeah.
wilderness areas. You have to be careful about that.
yeah.
I know Guam there's a lot of snakes in there, so
In Guam, I'm
yeah.
so scared of snakes.
Yeah, I seen some documentary how the snake is just get into the planes
Yeah,
wheels and stuff like that. I mean, you talk about big snakes, yeah. So,
yeah.
but not in Tonga. It was no. But this is some of the history back in the island that I put on the screen. So, um, did Dr. Ray want me to call him back? Let me try to call him back while.
Hey, Gabriel.
Yeah.
You go ahead and call. I'll talk to Gabriel about. Is that okay, Lini?
Yes, I you of
No, no, would that interfere with tech? The
no
tech.
no no.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dr.
I
Ray.
send you the video.
Okay,
I
okay,
send you the video where the sunset and the moon rise. I was
okay,
in I send you the video, so if you can play the video so Gabriel can see it, that
okay,
would be great.
okay.
Okay.
Did you
Yeah,
send it to
go ahead,
WhatsApp?
Brenda.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I send
Brenda.
it to WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay, then I need to send it to my.
Oh no,
Okay.
that's okay. I was just trying to tell Gabriel there's so many folklore stories in Tonga that are published, right? And
Wow.
so
Yeah.
this one island in Tonga, we have a video of the tsunami hitting that island. They when they swim across to from their island to the mainland of Tonga, which is how many miles, Emeline, from Eweki to to
I
Tonga?
I have no idea, Brenda. I
Okay,
think
but
it's not that far, but I know coffee pa awake in New eh?
yeah, in Udoa. So it's quite close, but the swimming it's swimmable on the ocean space. But you know they have sharks that accompany the real people of that island. If they get in the ocean and swim to Tonga, the sharks swim by them up until now.
So they don't. I mean, you're telling me they don't attack them?
No,
Wow, that's
and
interesting.
if yeah, and if they return back to the island, those same sharks, you know. But one day Emeline will play the Atufonwa Emeline. They talk
Yeah.
about the king.
Oh yeah. I shared with Gabriel on the before we had our very first meeting
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
show with him.
yeah.
Oh, about
Yeah.
the king that swam with the
Yes.
shark in
Yes,
Right.
Astronomical,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I shared with Gabriel.
yeah.
Gabriel watched that video and he was so interested with that. I sent it to him on the first week before we came on his show. So,
Must mean
Dr. Ray,
the sharks like the people then.
Yeah,
okay,
there yeah.
you guys go ahead and talk. Let me, because I'm getting the
Yeah.
video. So,
Yeah, because every village has their own folklores, you know, with them of some gods or or some stuff like that, you know.
Hmm.
And they keep it as a traditional thing, you know.
Right.
And like the cemeteries. Some cemeteries you don't dare go and yell or holler or do anything. They will pluck your ears out or they will just numb you. You won't be able to talk and you see, you know, people from the other side, you know, you see ghosts, you
Hmm.
know. Only you can see, nobody else can. You know, that's from the cemeteries. So there's some very delicate history of the every village has something like that going, you know, like the bats in your mom's area in Hihifo.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
right,
the bats are hanging from the trees, you know, and it's become a tourist, uh, you know,
area.
tourism. Yeah,
Okay, I think I might be ready for this video Dr. Ray sent
yeah.
to me. Uh,
Yeah.
okay,
Watch
I'm
out.
playing the video.
That's the sunset, and that's the moon there. So in Vava'u,
the moon comes from the west, the same time with the sunset. الشمس بتغرب هناك اهي والقمر اهو.
That's I explain in Arabic. After I explain in English.
طب نعمل كده اهو. That's the moon and that's the sunset.
That's what
You see it, Gabriel?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just but you know, because I take the video late, like half an hour, but you can see the same time the sunset, the same time the moon rise from the top. But this is half an hour.
Oh, so you mean you don't get to the part where the moon is actually like coming from the horizon? Is that what you're saying?
No, I saw the moon. Look, I tell you, I saw the moon come where the sun set. But the time I go there to take my mobile, because my mobile was a charge, and then I come out, so
yeah, so the moon
see the light of the sunset and the moon was going up.
Right, so it's like you're kind of late, so the moon is already a little bit higher in the sky. You're saying?
Yeah, but I saw this in my eyes. Same spot the sunset, same spot the moon rays. And when I went inside to go and get my mobile because it was in a charge and come outside and take the photo. But I tell you, this month here, I will have another life, and if you with me, you will see it straight away.
Wow.
I will try, if we have internet good, I will do it live again so you can see.
I put up the picture that you sent, Dr. Ray, with the moon. So that you sent also.
Yeah.
Dr. Ray, when you talk, Dr. Ray, can you also explain the history of the the Tsunami Rock in Tonga? Because I show that to here, but I wanted to have you talk about it because the first time I heard you talk about it, I never knew there's something like that in Tonga, you know. So I left Tonga too long ago.
This is a big, huge rock, very huge rock, like maybe 20 tons. Okay, the heaviest. But the scientists, when they studied the rocks, they said these rocks belong to the other island. It's called Iwa. Iwa's like around 60 miles from here, but you can see it. So the history, there is God Maui. He was angry with Tonga Tapu people, so he started to throw them with the rocks. So he threw from Iwa to here these rocks. But the scientists, they said it's a big tsunami carrying the rocks from Iwa to here. But when you go to Iwa, you will see exactly God Maui cave, the God Maui cave. But when you read the Bible, we have the Nephilim. The Nephilim, that's the falling from the sky. And the English interpret to the Hebrew interpret, they said sons of God or the falling angels. But in fact, because these people back to these days, they saw this Nephilim falling from the sky, so they call them sons of God or angels. But God said in the Bible, the angels, they not married. But God, in the Old Testament, in Genesis, he get angry because the fallen or the Nephilim married of Adam daughters, and the generation of this, they call them Gabaron or Gabaron. So it's very huge. It's not human like us. The marriage of the Nephilim and the daughter of Adam or human. So when I came to Tonga and I found this history and how they describe God Maui, okay, this is, I said, it's not what about the science said it's tsunami, because that's exactly what happened, because in the Bible we have Nephilim. And that's what the story here. That's God Maui is the one who was protecting the Tonga. Back, like way back.
So it's you're basically saying like giant people, the Nephilim.
Yeah, look, the giant people, That's a translation of the Nephilim married human, and they have the giants. But it's been interpreted to the English, the giants, that's not a Jewish nation. So everyone not in Jewish nation being interpreted in the Old Testament as Gentiles. But this is a way, way different. Because in Hebrew, we have Nephilim. When we use the word Nephilim, that's the fallen from the sky. Let's describe them falling from the sky like a UFO, you know? So the falling from the sky, people back to these days, they call them Nephilim. And the meaning of Nephilim, they falling from the sky. So in some English version, you will see sons of God. And in some English version, you will see angels. But the angels, they not married because they are spirit. And when you talk about the Nephilim, it's been like recorded in the Old Testament. It's been recorded in the first civilization. It's been recorded in the Greek civilization, in a Greek tomb. And even when you read Job in the Old Testament, they said, in the English version, they said, when the day of the angels represents themselves to God, the devil or the Satan come among them, and he asked about Job. But in Hebrew, when you read this in Hebrew, when the day of Nephilim come to represent themselves to God, it's away from the English when they said, when the day of the angels to represent themselves to God. Did God never know their angels? And why God make this day for the angels to represent themselves to God? But in Hebrew it's so clear. When the day of Nephilim come to represent themselves to God, the Satan come among them, and he asked about Job. So for me, I believe the Tsunami Rock's being thrown by God, by Maui, or what they call it, God Maui.
Maui.
Maui, sorry.
Yeah.
See, this is my Tongan accent. Maui. Okay. So it's being thrown by Nephilim from Ila to here.
Yeah. These are some of the history in Tonga, Gabriel. So.
Do you think this Nephilim? Can you explain anything else in the world that you think might have to do with the Nephilim? Like, I don't know if you heard of Baalbek, or.
Okay, you have in America. This type of huge grave on the desert. They found it. And also when you go back, this is a simple, very question. Why the Israel, they don't believe in Jesus? He is the God, or he is the Son of God, because he's not a Nephilim. This is a very simple, easy answer. Because he come like us, and they thought in their majority he's a Nephilim. That's why they told Jesus, we know your mother, we know your brother, we know your father, we know your sisters. But because he's not a Nephilim, that's why they called him, he's a prophet. He's not a son, he's not a son of God, because the Son of God, for them, he should be falling from the sky. Make sense?
Makes sense, Dr. Ray.
But Gabriel, he just stop talking.
Gabriel is listening.
I don't know what to say about that one. I've never heard that explanation.
Look, I tell you what, I have a study. I send the PowerPoint to Emilini when we have the Nephilim show. So I think, Emilini, can you send this Nephilim PowerPoint to Gabriel so we can have a look at?
Sure, I can send it to him. Yeah.
Because I collect a lot of information from different generation, like from Greek civilization, from Fair civilization, from the Red Indian in American civilization. I bring a lot of stories there. So I think Mini will send you the PowerPoint of the next one.
All
And
right.
then you can read, then you can ask.
Okay.
At least you will have the story.
Well, I mean, what I wanted to say is that, I don't know if you heard of the story in England of one of the founding stories is the story of, I don't know if it was Magog or something, that he was a giant living in England, one of the last giants, and he was, and he got into a fight or something with somebody who came to inhabit the island or England, and the
No,
person
I
who came.
never heard about it, but you can tell us now.
Yeah, I'm not really an expert in the story, but that's what I understand. But
Can I ask you a direct question? Do you believe in UFO?
UFOs, well, that's you mean what people witness as UFOs, or
No, for yourself. Do you believe in UFO? Yes or no?
oh, for myself, as an unidentified flying object, whether they are aliens, I'm sure there are unidentified flying objects. Whether they're actually from another planet or from space or another dimension, I don't know. I think there are unidentified flying objects. I don't know what they would be, and I don't know which ones are actually real and which ones are fantasy or which ones are military or which ones are frauds.
You believe there is other type of life somewhere?
I think that, yeah, I do believe that. I think that makes more sense than that we're the only life here. Doesn't make sense to me.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Why?
Look, I tell you what, it's a very tricky question because for me, when I read the Bible, I feel like there is UFO. When I come to scientists, I believe there is some UFO, but suddenly, where this all stopped and where they all gone, okay? But the main thing here, when I read the Old Testament, and when especially in Hebrew, not in English, it's come clear to me there is UFO somewhere. That's it. But I don't know. Maybe in another galaxy, maybe in our galaxy.
Right.
Never know, but maybe.
Now, what I was gonna say about Magog is that he was supposed to be a giant in England, and he was killed by one of the people that came to inhabit England, and then I think they have a statue of him somewhere. But Magog is also a name of a tribe, maybe in the Bible. King Gog of Magog, right? And in Judaism and Islam, I don't know about Christianity, that they have the idea at the end of time, the tribes or Gog and Magog, the people of Gog and Magog, will be unleashed in Armageddon, end of time.
Are they going to be the Walking Dead?
Now I understand. Yes. What
Right.
you said makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Nobody really knows what Gog and Magog is, really. I mean, I was reading some Israeli websites. They're trying to say it's Putin, if he does nuclear war, this is Gog and Magog.
Look, I tell you what, when they put the spot, it's between Russia and China. That's way, way back. That's
right.
where they come from.
Right, yeah. They're supposed to be from the north, according to the Bible.
Yeah. That's why they said it's some area between. When they looked to the geography, they said it's something between Russia and China. That's where these people will come, or they were. But that's where they pointed in the map, and it's between Russia and China.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you believe that people have actually seen UFOs, or do you think it's just? I mean, do you believe people have met aliens or like from
I
alien
do.
abductions?
I do.
Oh, Brenda.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you say about that?
Well, in the beginning of our shows, of our radio shows, we were talking about the pictures that we see in the pyramids, right? Those pictures they've put there and drawn by peoples in caves and stuff like that, right?
Right.
They draw UFOs in different shapes and stuff, and in the Bible, they talk about these machineries. I don't know what
Oh,
book it is, but to me, I think there are other planets who are populated by different beings other than us. You know, but I don't know whether I don't know, but I believe because I read so much stuff you know, into the UFOs and the sightings and all the experiences pilots had, very similar, you know. And then there was a Tongan boy that came. I think Emelina, the parents is Vava'u and Penny Mapa.
Mhm.
He's a doctor in Tonga. Is his MD in Tonga. But anyways, but he passed. Both of them passed. But their oldest son was sent here to USA. He went in a military, and he disappeared. When he was discharged, they went camping out near Yellowstones, right? They found everything of his in the tent, even his wallet, his glasses, his clothing, but his body disappeared with no trace. But there are some beautiful rocks and you know uh, uh, by Yellowstones that they always say that this is where people sighting the UFOs, and
mm,
I don't know whether he was disappeared, but nobody heard of him. He's gone, gone, gone for years. He's my age. I know him. We were in primary school together, and his name is Carl. You know,
Hmm.
so he just went missing, and that was it.
we went missing, and nobody has any nothing. They were just amazed at all his stuff was in the tent.
Hmm.
Everything was in the tent. You know, he is a good swimmer. He's everything. If he were to go down to the uh, water, he would. But it's just I But I read a lot about UFOs and why does the U.S. build that big you know place for and then they have books about UFOs, and people that have seen it and their testament, on what they have seen, experience. I would
Right.
like, yeah, I would like to see and talk to these people.
I just sent you the video, the PowerPoint that Dr. Ray was talking about. That's interesting, Brenda, because I know my cousin was missing, but then he came back for after many years. He was missing. So, a brother go or patriarch, patriarch,
Mm,
Tino, eh?
Dino.
No, no,
And
brother.
yeah, yeah.
I remember the parents would talk about him missing for many, many years, and they. Kaya wala pa to kiluelo may pio asen ko napi. So
Like he was just dropped.
yeah, but when he came, I think his mind was already,
Gone.
it's not there. Yeah, so
Oh. Is he still alive?
yeah, but uh, has some mental issues and stuff like that. So, but he's still alive. He's still staying over there at the house. So,
Hmm.
but he was in the Marine. I remember seeing his pictures and his parents talk about that. Hego tim hana to of pemo me atamasi Moses. Na pena to muka back in the days he saw
I
the
kept thinking about him,
That's
how we,
interesting
yeah.
because now when you talk about that, I remember my cousin was missing, for many years. So
Yeah, you talk about that. You
mm,
talk about that. Yeah, that's a story.
mm, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Mm. I know Dr. Ray dropped off again, so I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
um,
So,
was
are
there
we?
anything? Yeah, I think
Yeah, we're done.
yeah.
Yeah.
So was there anything else, Gabriel, that you want to talk about tonight, or any question?
Well, I like the subject. I want to know more of Dr. Ray's opinion upon a lot of things like. I mean, this might sound ridiculous because they're talking about UFOs, but I would say like things like Bigfoot, things like that.
Yeah.
I want to know his
The
opinion.
PowerPoint I just sent to you, it will explain to you why he was talking about the UFO. I think that's why he was asking the question. I just sent you the PowerPoint, so
All right,
Come back again to the show, Gabriel.
I will definitely
Yeah.
yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
Brenda, can you do it for Malo, and then we'll.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Whamalo atu ki ho mou si mea mai he whiawhini. Ko ngahi pō tatara e whiawh koe ni, ko ilo mea kehe i he tawhaaki i whamamani, pe ilo mea kehe e tawhaaki o ku te ike ki tau au sia ki ai. Kau ai UFO, ko ngahi maka, pia mo ngahi talanoa whakahistoria. Kaku very interesting pe ke tau talanoa e ngahi mea au tau ilo na e tuku mai e whangakui mei tuai. Nau talanoa ke matamahina.
Yes, come with the
Nau
man.
talanoa ki e weiki mo e kakau mo e anga.
Kaya.
Pea mo e ni ihi koe me ihi ngahi malae pe koe ngahi whaitoka.
Right.
Ai aha tahi whie pau e
Right.
lala uia
We
me
had that. Yes.
pulotu. Yeah. So interesting because we
Yeah.
never talk about that in any given, program.
And I'm
But
so thankful with Gabriel because his interest for Tonga make us learn more about Tonga. Because I tell you, Gabriel, I left Tonga in the 90s, okay, and then Brenda like made the 80s, Brenda, or the 70s.
yes,
So,
60, yeah,
yeah,
60s, 69.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those.
Those many years.
When Dr. Ray like talk about Tonga, and I said how unique and how blessed I felt to be Tongan, because
Yes.
of all this stuff. And I know you, Gabriel, you liked a simple life, and I think now it's confirmed that you're gonna be in Tonga soon. So,
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I hope
Just
I'm there while if the nuclear war happens. I hope I'm there, not here.
the
that's
nuclear.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
I
You should
remember.
take the parents.
I remember. I think in I think in the 80s, the late 80s, I was on the boat to Babao because
Yeah.
and in on a military
Trip.
trip. But I remember on the boat in the Olawaha, there was this couple that they were like traveling with us. I'm not sure whether they either from England or from Australia, and they just went to Hawaii, one of the island, with no tent, no nothing. Their plan was just to sleep on the sand, stay there, find whatever, food in the island, and just for a month, I believe. And that was like, to me, amazed me. But I tell you, they can survive a month with lots of food, lot of everything in there in the island. But I think their plan was just to I think they bring their sleeping bag, I believe, so
Mhm.
and just have a vacation, on the white sandy beaches of Hawaii, So that's interesting, So
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a close,
yes,
Gabriel. Huh?
Okay.
So, whamanoat ka te motoro mo mea mai ki he polkarama ko ia Tonga World News e he whawhini. Pea o mau whiwhia o pito ke whahakat ka te motoro. Koe taimi tatau pe te tau lele ai i he polkaramani. I he hiva e whiawhi pe. Ko ia line,
Pongpongi ko ia.
ko kai ke mau pokalama atu I he hoata. Ko iai o kei o atu pe mau kei accept pe relief donations ke tokoni ki tau container mo tau tokoni ki Tonga. Pea ko e mau Lincoln o ko atu ko ni mo mea mai pe ki ai. Pea mo hikikat pe because we're going to run it every night we're here except the weekends. So we want to thank you everyone for uh, gearing into our program. Tonight is Wednesday night. Thank you for Gabriel all the way from California. And e merine maro apite ngawe pia moe fataki ngawen ma ofalahi atu tua eki o fatu. Kia te koe I kula moa e te tokana ta ahine ke mana tua koe ngata kau foki au avai o luna o kulata ana mo oni e lau ai tau tai mate mele mo me afaka mamahi pe ino foa kau foki o moe manatu baiki ako fui kukubalo te ino foa kau foki o mohe manatu baiki ako fui kukubalo.
Malo pagalawa tau kalama ki he poni ko Emeline Family Day mo mea to afatu.